Hello everybody, it's Georgia obviously, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you some movie suggestions that you may or may not have ever seen, but I really do recommend, and I'm happy to watch them over and over again. So the first movie I'm going to be talking about is kind of an old sci-fi movie, but is so good. This movie is called Flight of the Navigator. Flight of the Navigator is about a young boy called David who strolls away from home to find his brother who should have been home but didn't get home on time. So he goes out with his dog to try find his brother in the woods. While in the woods he falls down a hill and when gets up decides to go home because maybe his brother's just gone home. When he knocks on the door because his door isn't unlocked, he finds an old couple standing at the door, not his parents. As puzzled as young David is, he storms into the house and goes straight up into his room to find that his room is not the way he left it. In fact, it's pretty different. After almost crying and throwing a tantrum, he demands the old couple that they take him to his family. They're puzzled and decide to call the police. The police take in David, and David is sort of found. David has been on a missing list for 8 years in the police department, and they call David's parents, but when David's parents come in, they look a little bit different. 8 years older. So David's parents come into the police station so excited to know that their son has been found, but are completely in shock to find out that their son hasn't aged in the 8 years that he's been missing. David takes this all as a dream, and when he finally discovers that it's not a dream, he's put under a lot of science tests and it's too much for his brain to handle. When David really can't explain what happens, they put him underneath all these tests and brainwave machines just to get out what his brain is really trying to tell the people, but David can't. When they get his brainwave data, they discover that his brainwaves have created a picture which kind of signifies something that they already have in the science lab on the other side. David's brainwaves drew a picture of a ship. The science faculty decide to keep this a secret from David and just let him stay in the science facility until they can really work out what's going on. David is allowed to stay with his parents and his brother, who is supposed to be his little brother but is now his big brother. They're so shocked at what's happened to their son and they have no clue what has happened, but they are actually so excited to see him that they don't really care. In fact, David's little big brother find it kind of cool. While staying in the facility, David starts hearing voices. Voices that are calling him over and over again. David is delusional. Every day he starts telling the staff that he's being called by something, and you know, they're just like, oh, he's hearing things. David decides to leave the facility and find out where the voices are coming from, where he discovers the big ship that he drew with his brainwaves. So the ship flew away with David, and that's all I'm going to tell you for that movie. The next movie I'm going to be telling you about is a thriller/horror called The Visit. The Visit is a movie about 2 siblings, big sister, little brother, I've really forgotten their names, but they document their lives, and when they were told that they were going to spend a week with their grandparents who they've never met before, they're super excited and they take their camera with them. They meet their grandparents at a train station in their hometown without their parents because the parents and the grandparents, they fell out. When meeting them, they're so excited and the grandparents bring cakes and treats and everything to make them happy. It's kind of like Coraline. When spending the first day with their grandparents, they're so excited and the grandparents have no issue with them recording their lives. But when they decide to go up to bed, their granddad starts telling them a few weird rules. Bedtime by 9:30, do not leave your room after 9:30, and don't ask questions. Annoyed at the fact that they have to be in bed and not allowed to leave their room after 9:30 really annoys the kids, but it's their grandparents so they accept it. Because the kids aren't used to going to sleep so early, they're still up by 11:15 where they start hearing things outside their bedroom door. The younger brother wants to check it out, but the older sister made a point that they can't leave the room, but they thought they were getting robbed, so they opened their bedroom door to discover their grandmother scratching the walls outside their bedroom door naked. During the next few days, they try to ignore everything they can about their grandparents, but the thing is, things are getting stranger and stranger. On the last night, they all decide to get together and play a game when they make a very, very, very frightening discovery. Their grandparents aren't who they say they are, and that's where I'm going to leave it for that movie. The next movie I have is one for the kids. It's called The Rescuers. So there's like a little society called the Rescue Aid Society that is run by a bunch of mice. They rescue kids from all around the world. When they receive a bottle from a little girl on the other side of the world called Penny, it's brought to their attention that Penny is being trapped by her Aunt Medusa, who is only trapping her because she is small enough to get down a well and retrieve one of the biggest diamonds in the world for her aunt, who will sell it for money. So, two mice from the Rescue Aid Society, Bernard and Bianca, decide to go halfway across the world to save Penny. That's where I'm going to leave you there. The next movie I'm going to be talking about is The Secret Garden. Mary Lennox was born in a family who loved to party. When I mean by family, I mean her mum and dad. Her mum and dad loved to party, and they care more about partying than their own daughter. Her daughter is taking care of her maid, Mariah, who is Indian. They all live in India, and Mary's had enough of her parents and hates them. One day while her parents are out partying, there is an earthquake. Lennox does the good thing, hides under the bed while her parents die, and she survives. She's then taken to England to live with her uncle in the big manor hotel thing, where she is told by her second guardian that she will not be meeting her uncle. While staying in the hotel, she discovers that the lady who is taking care of her is quite nasty, played by Maggie Smith, by the way. But there is also a servant who is really, really, really lovely to her, and they get on so well. After being told that she's not allowed to go wandering around the hotel, she decides to find some things to do around her hotel room, which is where she discovers a trap door. I'm gonna leave the rest there. So that is all I have for you guys today. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that you'll take some of these movies into consideration and maybe watch a few. Comment down below which one you watched and what you thought of it. Also, please let me know if I gave a good explanation without solving too much. I'll see you guys soon.